Assalamu alaikum guys, Loving Family Kitchen here again, and today we've got a recipe for a Bangladeshi Indian restaurant style Tandoori King Prawn Jalfrezi. So straight into the recipe, we've got some ingredients listed on the screen. These are some of the main ingredients. Of course, the full list of ingredients will be listed in the description. You can see here that I'm marinating the king prawns in a tandoori sauce. These will go straight into the oven at around 180 degrees Celsius, and I'd say you want to leave them in there for about 10 to 15 minutes so they crisp. And while they're cooking away, we're going to start with the sauce. So into a pot goes some oil. I'm going to wait for that to heat up, and what we want to go in with first is some garlic and ginger paste. This is something that I blend up at home myself. About 1.5 spoons or so. We're going to let that cook through a little bit, and here we have another sort of condiment sauce, you could say, that I use in my curries, and it's a combination of coriander, chilli, there's a little bit of vinegar in there, and some olive oil. Now we're going to let that cook through, and in we go with some diced up onions. You want to cut these quite thick, especially if you're looking for a jalfrezi. I'm going to give those a quick stir in just a second, and I may even want to add some salt. Here we go. Right on cue. So we have some salt, about 1.5 spoons, and we're now going to give that a good stir. I think onions probably take the longest to cook in this whole recipe, and by the time they cook through, we'll be able to go in with the king prawns. So now we have some bell peppers, green and yellow, and this is sort of the signature look of a jalfrezi. You have large chunks or strips of peppers and onions, and maybe a few strips of green chilies, but of course we'll go in with those in just a second. We'll pop the lid on there and let that soften and cook down. Meanwhile, I think our king prawns are just about ready, and I think I'm right. We're going to pull those out. You can see that they're cooked well. If the camera will focus, brilliant. Very reminiscent of your Indian restaurant style Tandoori King prawns. Now that the onions have had a chance to soften, we don't want to cook them too far because we still want them to have a very distinct look, or rather provide a distinct look to the curry. So now we're going in with the tomatoes and the sliced chilies. I'll give that a quick stir. And I think we're almost ready to go in with our spices. So first and foremost, we have some turmeric. Just under a spoon of turmeric, not too much. We have some chili powder. Now this is sort of depending on taste. I like my jalfrezi spicy, so about a spoon and a half or so. We've got some coriander powder. I'm gonna add about a spoon or so. And we've got some jeera, or rather cumin, just under a spoon. And I like to add some paprika. Again, not too much, but it does add to the richness of colour. And here we have some Madras curry powder, sort of variant that you can buy off the shelf in a store. Just add a touch of that, and we're going to mix this up to combine. You can see that it's all coming together quite nicely, and we want to finish off with some tomato puree or tomato paste, whatever you like to call it. Just a little squeeze of that, and that's really going to add some richness to the dish. Give it a good old mix. I'm going to want to let this cook for a little while. Just so all the spices cook off and combine. Now we can see that it's all just about ready for the king prawns. So we'll go in with the king prawns. I think the only trouble with trying to achieve the restaurant style look with the king prawns is that if I were to flip them over and cook them on both sides to get that charred look, then they'd be, I think, maybe overcooked. So I think that's a bit of a trade-off there, but all in all you still get a very restaurant-esque look and taste, in fact. So I'm going to give that a good mix. And we're almost ready. Now I've got the secret sauce. Now what this is, guys, is the typical British, Bangladeshi, Indian restaurant style gravy, or base gravy as it's called. Having worked in Indian restaurants for, I'd say, maybe the best part of 15 odd years now, I've got a very good idea of what makes for a good base gravy, and the recipe for that will be in fact in another video, so do hold out. I haven't quite got to recording that one, but I will do in the near future. So if you want to learn how to build your own base gravy, which you can apply to pretty much any curry, keep your eyes peeled, because I'll be posting that video soon. So anyway, here we are. We've almost finished cooking. We'll just sprinkle some coriander on top. Just mix that in, and let that combine. Just about ready to plate. Going forward, guys, I'm going to be posting quite a few videos on Indian restaurant style cooking, so keep your eyes peeled. They're definitely coming soon. So you can see we're just about done cooking. Very nice color and sheen, definitely what I'd expect from a Bangladeshi Indian restaurant. So we have it plated here, guys, you can see. I hope you give this recipe a go. I hope you enjoy it. I certainly did. And I look forward to seeing you all in the next one. Salam.